Hey there, Taurus. How you doing? My name is Fairlight. Welcome to Airy Fairy Tarot. Well, I'll just get right into your reading. I don't know why it's like this big sigh. Well, I do when I start talking about the cards. I also just want to talk a little bit about, I had set up to do earth sign readings. It's been a while since I posted astrology readings, but so I went and sat up by a creek and it was all nice. And then it started raining. So I'm drying out now, but this is my rainy day look. And, and I felt like it was definitely a strong message for Virgo, because that was the first reading I did. But I kind of feel like there's a correlation for you too. And I feel like it's almost like getting out of your comfort zone kind of a message, kind of an energy where I was all snuggly in this like little cove by the creek, and then it just was pouring rain, and no matter how I tried to stand still, I couldn't help but get wet. And I guess looking at your cards and looking at that, it's almost like a perspective on what the rain means, standing in it, and it you ruined my record, man. I don't know why. That's like this old Cheech and Chong thing. It's like, I was all set up at like, whatever. And so it's like, it feels like something in your life has given you a very uncomfortable push, and you didn't want to be pushed, but it pushed you anyway. And so, so the initial push out of your comfort zone, it's like, I've got different cards all around, but I'll get to what I'm talking about. You got the Nine of Swords reversed, and then you've got the Three of Swords reversed with the Six of Swords upright. So definitely, this speaks of like getting over a heartbreak, getting out of this really heavy toxic thinking. I was gonna say negative thinking, but it feels pretty toxic. And then even over here you've got this King of Swords reversed. So just feels like there's been some fuckery and that's kind of what pushed you out of your comfort zone, because it's like you were in an environment that while somewhat comfortable, there was just a lot of negativity around you. I don't even know that this feels like it was from inside of you, because this King of Swords reversed especially, it feels like there were influences outside of you, and because it's a king even, it could be a person, but it just feels like the energy of, well, it's like the whole paradigm, like we go into the greater collective, and especially like here in the United States, like there is a lot of toxic thought going around, a lot of toxic words going around, a lot of just toxic energy. And so whether it's like this outer world affecting your world, or it's just toxic people in your immediate environment, or whatever it is, definitely I'm so grateful this Six of Swords, of all swords to be upright, I'm grateful this is the one. So you're moving away from this energy, but it's been a lot. And even this Devil, it's called temptation, but it's reversed. It's like you really, because you value yourself. And that's what I see with this Ace of Swords. So again, a lot of swords. With this Ace of Swords, I feel like your self-value won, and you fucking had to move. Or you are in this process of moving away from all of it, because you have this greater truth. And so I'm even getting like star card energy from this, because she shows up after the tower, or it's kind of cold. She shows up after the tower, and she is naked, and her nakedness represents her transparency. Her light is so strong, her truth. She has come through so much that she can't deny who she is. She has come through so much that she understands what's important, what's really, really important. And it feels like whatever you are moving out of, whatever you have come through, and I get a sense of like it's been drawn out. And kind of I feel like it's that collectively too, but it feels very, again, drawn out for you, just a heavy negative. It's like kind of a traumatic, but just a very just toxic. Ugh. Ick. So I'm glad you're getting out of that, Taurus. I'm so grateful you're getting out of that and learning to speak your truth. And again, with that star card, I always like to say it's the nature of the star to shine. Even though the star card hasn't come out yet, it's the nature of the star to shine. So shine your truth, shine your light, as long as you're living and speaking your truth. And it feels like there's an integrity implied here. There's an integrity about, and again, you value yourself. And there's an integrity that goes along with this self-value, to the point that the more you acknowledge to yourself, this is not healthy for me, this is not good for me, the more you acknowledge it, the more opportunities will show up to align you to this greater truth, for you to live your truth, because you're meant to live this truth. But I feel like you went through all of this to learn to recognize, to call out, to learn to recognize bullshit for yourself, to not wear rose-colored glasses. Again, to call out bullshit and speak it out to people. Like, that's just bullshit. That's not my truth. You are a gaslighting, manipulative fucking asshole. You take people's words. Like, I feel like this could be a person, or this could be other people. You take people's words and you, like, this is you speaking to them. You take people's words and you manipulate them. You try to make me feel, you try to corner me into agreeing that I said something that I know I didn't fucking say. And so I feel like you've had energy like that, and you finally go, no, fuck that. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. I'm not gonna let you hold me under your thumb anymore. Because why? 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 I value me too much. So good on you, Taurus. Good on you. And if you're, whatever stage of this experience that you're at, just good on you. Value yourself. Value you. Value your truth. Value your ideas. Because then we've also got this Princess of Pentacles here. I fucking love this deck. This is a David Bowie Starman deck. And I just love this, because this is the Princess of Pentacles, and it's like she's got this great idea. And so it's growing right out of her head. It's this beanstalk growing up into the atmosphere. And so it's like, you've got this great idea. You're sitting on this great idea. And it's like, it's like growing in your mind. It's growing in your mind. And so I feel like as long as you align to your truth and that transparency, you're going to actually be able to manifest whatever this idea is, planting those seeds and nourish them into being. And then we've got this Eight of Pentacles right here. So again, it's like this great idea, it's going to turn into something that is really, it's like really reflective of you. I get the sense of like, it fits like a glove. If you're not already doing this, often with the Eight of Pentacles, like, I like there's this fairy deck I have, and it shows this as like, a luthier. And so I always want to think to the luthier, because a luthier, that's a craftsman that builds guitars, and they know what they're doing. They have to really study. They have to really know what they're doing to make a quality guitar. So it's like something that you're really, really good at. And just looking at this, it's like, it's cool. It's like he's arranging the universe. He's arranging the pattern in the universe. And so it's like, again, you've got this great idea that's aligned to your truth. And this just shows skill. And again, it's like it's doing something that fits you like a glove. That's just, I can't get over, that's the energy that it is. And then, man, where do I go after this? You've got the Death and the Judgment card. Ooh, I like this reading. You've got the Death and the Judgment card. And so when we've got major arcanas coming out, that's when I start feeling like, okay, we've arrived at destiny. We've arrived at destiny, and the Death and the Judgment card. So Death, it talks about this great transformation you've been going through. And I feel like, we've identified a lot of what that is, that you're never going to let somebody put you out of your truth. You don't ever have to. Stay aligned to your truth. You don't ever have to fall into these manipulations, none of this. It's like now that you've learned to recognize it, now that you've learned to recognize the patterns and the behaviors and the vibration of it, now you've learned to recognize it, so now you can call it out. and I can't wait to get to and so we've got this Ace of Swords, and then we've also got the Ace of Cups. And so it really feels like you are moving into a way better opportunity, a way better situation, way better, just way better. You're moving towards way better because you are in your authenticity. I'm so excited about this. So this death, I feel like death speaks of all this process that you've been going through. And then this Judgment card, it just feels like you're leveling up to a great new paradigm of experience, a great new paradigm of existence. You're leveling up into recognizing your ability to actually create a solid foundation for yourself and to build up on that, to actually just create a better world. It's a new world. It really does feel like a new world. It feels like even though everything's all in chaos in the world, and especially the United States and whatever, it's like the more it all falls to shit, the more we start recognizing that self-reliance is really, really called for. Nobody's gonna save us, self-reliance. And the more we become self-reliant, the more it's like, I get a sense of it's like the more our eyes are open to what we really have and to what we're really capable of. And there, I just feel I feel a strong sense of groundedness, a strong sense of feet planted firmly on the earth and moving forward with intention. And it's just a much more grounded energy that I feel. And it comes with this truth and aligning to what is emotionally satisfying for you. What do I want to do that is emotionally fulfilling? And I'm feeling, I don't know why I'm feeling like there's this service. I don't know what it is, but it feels like whatever this idea that you have, I feel like it's going to benefit others. And it feels like because you just went through something where people treated you so badly that it's become more important to you now than it was before, maybe, to make sure people are treated well. Because you never want to be responsible for somebody else feeling that way. Although ultimately we're responsible for ourselves. But at the same time, you never want to manipulate people. And so it brings us a greater self-awareness of how do I treat others? What words am I doing? And then sometimes we might slip into manipulative mode because maybe that's what our moms did or our dads did or something like that, and suddenly for the first time we'll see ourselves doing something and catch it and be like, no, that's manipulative. No, I'm not going to talk to you like that. Please forgive me. I'm working on myself too. And it's like there's that humility, there's this great humbleness that actually contributes to your groundedness and your ability to understand how capable you are, how magical you are, but how capable you are, how creative you are, how talented you are in moving forward, in deliberately creating the life you choose to create. So that's the Temperance and that's the Death card. There's some other cards here. I kind of want to end it there, but I guess I'll go a little bit further because you've got the Moon card here. There's these other cards here that I haven't acknowledged. So I'm just going to say there's the Moon card here, and then I want to see what these are. You've got the Seven of Cups upright. You've got the Seven of Cups reversed, Four of Cups upright, and the Seven of Pentacles reversed. So, going back and forth and going back and forth. With the Moon card, it calls for some reflection. I think there's some self-care really being called for, especially, it's funny, I keep talking about the Star, but the Star card didn't come out, but this is the same kind of energy in a way. Do you hear the magpie calling out to you? So luck is on your side. Magpies are very lucky. So this deep reflection, this card is really it just really suggests deep healing, deep emotional healing. The deeper you reflect, the more you're able to see the light within yourself, and the more you're able to transmute pain, the more you're able to transmute whatever negative energies that these negative thoughts and negative interactions and these manipulative energies all around you, it's like now with this deep reflection, there's this great soothing. It's like you've really overcome, Taurus. You've really, really overcome. And just take a deep breath. You've really overcome. It's like I can't say it enough. There's something about this golden light, and it's shining right at the solar plexus area. So it's like, again, it's like you recognize that you value yourself. And so the more you heal and nourish yourself, the more you reflect on things, it's like you're taking your power back, your personal power back, in a way maybe that you've never felt empowered before. So isn't that in a way beautiful? And it feels like poetic justice that you went through all of this. It like looks so difficult. I don't know. It's like it aches my heart so bad. And the Three of Swords is here, but it's reversed. But it's like I feel this such an emotional pain. Like I really feel like you went through a major, major mind fuck. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But you value yourself. I just want to come back to that strength. You value yourself. And so with this deeper inner reflection, and we're reflecting on, because of all of this, I feel like the Seven of Cups reversed, it just feels like now you're a lot more focused. You have a much greater clarity, whereas before there could have been a lot of confusion. And it's like, it feels like you were going towards this Ace of Swords. You were going towards what was true for you, and this Ace of Cups. You were trying to move towards it, but it's like if you had an idea for some creative project or a business or something, and it's like every time you started to get clear, these toxic people would come into your life and cause all kinds of confusion and say things or do things that really put you in a place of self-doubt. And when you're doubting yourself, how do you even know how to move forward? And so it feels like now you've got this clarity again. Now that you're moving away from these toxic energies and whatever toxic thoughts, now you're getting greater clarity. You're not being as distracted. You're not saying, well, it's almost like you know what you want, but then you would override it. Fear would override it by saying, yeah, but if it doesn't work. And so it's like you were giving more energy to the backup plan instead of having maybe a backup plan in the back of your mind, but moving forward on what is true for you, moving forward on what your life, your creative urge is calling you towards. So that's really good. And then recognizing, and so the Seven of Pentacles reversed and this Four of Cups upright, it's just like you're not going to plant seeds for something that isn't even satisfying for you. You're not going to plant seeds of, say you love cucumbers and tomatoes and you're not really a fan of beets. You're not going to plant beets and say, oh yeah, maybe I'll plant cucumbers and tomatoes someday. Because so-and-so says that, well, I think you should plant beets because your life, it's just going to be a lot safer to plant beets. Nothing against beets, you guys. Actually, I don't really like beets, but whatever. But you know what I mean? It's like, you don't need to. And so it feels like there a lot of this interference. And, it's a general reading, but it feels like for some people, it could be like family members, just people in your life who they want the best for you, but really it's an egoic kind of a thing where they want you to succeed at what they told you to do. So they can say, well, they did that because I told them to, Well, that's real nice. But if you do it because they told you to and you're going against yourself, then fuck that. You don't have to do that. And so it's like, I used to have a boyfriend named Freddie, and he had this voice that would go, well, you know what I think you should do? So it's like those kind of people. Well, you know what I think you should do? So it's like, getting away from that kind of vibration and saying, that's really nice. And if you feel that strongly about it, why don't you go do it? Because I have my own truth. I have my own ideas. I have my own, creative urge. I have my own emotional alignment, my own fulfillment that I need to do, that I think I should do. And I'm going to do that. That's plan A. And actually, it's just plan A from now on. And there's like an alignment that can come into you that's like, this is what I do now. This is who I am, or this is what I go towards. This is what I do now. And just allowing yourself to be that. This is who you are. This is your truth. This is what fulfills you. This is the ideas that you have. This is what you intend to manifest. This is who you are. And you don't have anything to prove to anybody else. You don't have to align to anybody else's, what I think you should do. Just free yourself from all of that negative thinking, because if it puts you into that negativity, like, duh, that ain't fucking for you, man. So value yourself again, wherever you're at in this process, valuing yourself. Don't be tempted to take shortcuts. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't shortchange yourself. Just value who you are, value your ideas, value the guidance that's coming through to you. Move away from anything that doesn't honor you and your truth. You're gonna be all right. You've got this, because then underneath that is the Empress. And that's Taurus energy. That is you. And you absolutely have every right to receive all good things. All beautiful, wonderful, beautiful things creating this life to align you to your joy, your joyful expression, your, all of those good things. Happy life. You deserve all these things. You've earned it. So receive. All right. That's all I've got for you today. Until next time, peace and love. Thanks.